up to a decade to your life just by taking a look at what you're eating.
Today, the gut health doctor, Megan Rossi, is back to explain how eating certain foods and adding them to your diet is the key to longer living. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, guys.
Lovely to see you.
Likewise. So this is very much based on a new study that's come out from the University of Bergen, which showed that including these super 6 plant-based food groups in your diet really can add up to a decade to your life.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I think when we think about our own diets, we might be having, you know, some fruit and some veg, but we're not getting in the super 6. So here you can see we've got the whole grains, the nuts and seeds, the legumes, the veg, the fruit, and the herbs and spices.
So that's the 6, is it?
Yeah, the super 6, I call
Legumes
them.
are what exactly?
Like beans and pulses, so things like your chickpeas and your black beans.
So if I had hummus, would that count?
Absolutely would count.
There you go, well done.
And do you have to have these every day?
So this is freekeh. So it's a type of wheat which is a really great whole grain loaded with fibre. And the reason why the study has shown that these are so beneficial is because it comes down to the gut bacteria. So I'm not sure how much you know, but we all have these trillions of bacteria in our gut. And this is what I research at King's College in London. And what we're discovering, feeding the bacteria this diversity of plants, the super 6, enables them to have more skills to do things like regulate our hormones, you know, protect us from being sick, etc. So I guess the understanding of why plants are so beneficial comes back to our gut bacteria.
Are we talking, like, how much of this do we have to consume? So are we talking, do we need all of these every day?
So I recommend where you can adding in something from the super 6 most days. But, you know, if you think about a target, I would say try to get 30 different plants in each and every week, which might sound like a lot, but actually it's very simple to do. So things like instead of just getting one type of bean, get your mixed bean, you get 3 points there. And, you know, what I wanted to really highlight is from this study, they've actually shown that you can add many years to your life by making a few simple switches because, you know, we all live very, very busy lives and I don't expect people to revolutionise, you know, their diet. So some examples here. The study showed that if we were all to include 25 grams of nuts in our daily diet, we could add an extra 2 years to our life. The other good thing about nuts is they've actually been shown to help reduce the appearance of wrinkles, so a bit of a double win there.
I love nuts as well.
Yeah, and then we have the legumes, so things like the black beans and the chickpeas. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, yuck, I'm not going to eat them. So what I've done is actually shown you from some of the recipes in my book, Eat More, Live Well, how you can add them to diets in a very delicious way. So here you've got my, these got the chickpeas in it, so it's raw cookie dough. Fudgy black bean brownies. Got them in there.
That one, because this guy looks great.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and the thing about the black beans...
What's in there?
Black beans, these ones here. And they...
What else is in there?
They've got bananas in there, got dates in there, got oats in there.
Why are we eating this?
Yeah, guys, go for it. It's all really good for your gut bacteria.
No, it's fine.
And the thing about the black beans is they help blunt your blood sugars, which is really important for things like regulating your metabolism, etc. So it's really good to include them in your black beans.
There's no spoons already.
I'll get a spoon.
And then we also, I love this. It looks so delicious. He has to try them. We have spinach and ricotta stuffed pasta shells. Now, what I've done here, I've taken out half the cheese and replaced it with a can of mixed beans.
That's such a good idea.
Yeah, because it not only, you know, makes
Hang on, I was away for this. What's this bit?
Spinach and ricotta stuffed ravioli with the beans in it.
Try
some of this chocolate.
So how many years is this going to add to my life if I do this?
So this one here, according to the study, an extra 2.5 years based on
just by that spoonful.
That's delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
amazing,
lovely.
by the way.
So these sorts of things, like changes to your diet, not only are they better for you, but they're also much cheaper. So I think it's really important that we start to focus on these types of recipes, which is what the book is essentially all about.
Could you add some of these things, like your lentils and so forth, to your normal everyday diet? So I remember once we did a bolognese with lentils, half meat. Would that count?
Absolutely would. Right. And why don't you, like, blend in some mushrooms there? I do it all the time with my family and they don't even notice. So it's thinking about ways we can sneak in something from the Super 6 each and every day into our diet.
I love these biscuits. Is this part of the Super 6?
Oh, isn't it great that cheddars are part of the Super 6?
It's actually not, guys. But you know what? The philosophy of my diet is very much about inclusion, not exclusion. So it's about focusing on what you can add
But this is a kind of substitute, is what you're talking
about. Yeah, exactly. So the study showed that we can add over 3 years to our life by making some simple switches in terms of our whole grain. So instead of having things like, you know, the Rice Krispies, having something like my granola, which is no added sugar, high fibre, and it's called Biome. You can get it from all your main supermarkets. Instead of having the cheddar crackers, you can have the popcorn, really high in fibre, and then the same with the grains. Instead of going things like your white grains, go for the whole grains.
It's obviously quite a lot for people to take in. me particularly. So what are the baby steps, just really briefly, in like 30 seconds for us?
So the baby step, I would say, is the number one thing to do is think about your diet, perhaps yesterday. Did you have something from these Super 6 plant-based food groups? If you didn't, you might think, OK, well, tomorrow I'm going to try add in some nuts. Or, hey, the next day after that, I'm going to make some, you know, fudgy
just
black
tiny
brownies.
baby steps can make them.
Exactly. So one, you know, each week, I would say try add in something from these Super 6 if it's new to you.
Well, can I have one of those apples and one of those bananas? Is that all right? I'm going to put that in the
Absolutely.
bag.
Hey, why don't you try some of these
grocer.
chickpeas?
Oh, thank you so much, Megan.
Chickpeas nuts.
Thank you for opening our eyes.
Thanks, Megan.
Thank you so
Brilliant
much.
stuff.